pentru invitație.
Urmat pe terminal.
Exact.
But they can go up on stage. I'm 6'2", over 200 pounds. So please take my advice. Take your seat in the hall. Thank you very much. Welcome. We'll start in a couple of minutes. Thank you, thank you. Take your seat. Good morning again. I see people, guests in the back of the hall. They are actually my colleagues. Hello. But maybe you can take a seat if you can. And also, fortunately, and it fills us with joy to see that we are so many people here gathered in Bucharest for the 3SI Business Forum. So the key message here is that there are no extra seats. Occupy every seat, even in between you. This is important because we are already 3 and probably will be 5 to 10 minutes late to our proposed schedule. And it's a pity because you have a lot of work to do today, and I don't want to be a hindrance in your job. So look, here there are some seats reserved. Will they be occupied? One, only one. So there are some seats here. Yeah. When I took the job as a spokesperson of the government, I didn't realize I'll have to do this, but well, we all have to adapt. So thank you for your understanding.
Nu, dar se numește whip sau...
Bună dimineața! Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, dear guests and friends. Welcome to the 3Cs Initiative Business Forum, organized by the Government of Romania, led by Prime Minister Marcel Ciolacu, under the high patronage of the President of Romania, Klaus Iohannis. The forum is obviously enjoying a real success because I see here more than 1,000 representatives of the business environment, political and government decision makers, and experts from more than 12 countries. We are here in the Union Hall of the Romanian Parliament Palace to mark together the opening session of this great forum. I would like to invite our host to say a short greeting. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister of Romania, His Excellency Marcel Ciolacu.
Excelențele voastre, distinși oaspeți, sunt deosebit de onorat să vă urez bun venit la deschiderea Forumului de Afaceri al inițiativei celor 3 mări. Dați-mi voie să urez în mod special bun venit înalților oaspeți prezenți la sesiunea de deschidere. Domnul președinte al României, Klaus Iohannis, domnul președinte al Poloniei, Andrzej Duda, domnul prim-ministru al Croației, Andris Plenković, domnul președinte al Letoniei, Edgars Rinkevičius, domnul președinte al Lituaniei, Gitanas Nausėda, domnul John Kerry, trimis special pentru climă al președintelui Statelor Unite ale Americii. Pentru România, organizarea și găzduirea forumului înseamnă asumarea unei responsabilități importante, atât pentru coeziunea la nivel european, cât și pentru consolidarea comunității transatlantice. Sunt convins că forumul de la București va aduce elemente concrete obiectivelor stabilite la nivel politic de către cele 13 națiuni participante, pe toate palierele prioritare ale inițiativei: energie, transport, digital și investiții. În esență, 3 mări să-și atingă maximul în perioada următoare. Permiteți-mi cu această ocazie să-i salut pe cei care vor conduce secțiunile de lucru ale forumului. Toți cei reuniți aici, experți, oameni politici, manageri de companii strategice, avem o responsabilitate importantă în articularea marilor proiecte fanion de care avem nevoie urgentă în perioada următoare. Este o onoare. În plus, să remarc că acest forum reunește aliați, parteneri europeni, transatlantici și mai ales prieteni. Așadar, declar deschise lucrările forumului. Vă urez dezbateri pline de substanță care vor aduce un follow-up susținut în perioada următoare, în beneficiul nostru comun. Și, evident, vă doresc să aveți o ședere cât mai plăcută în capitala României, București.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of Romania, His Excellency Klaus Iohannis, under whose high patronage the Business Forum is organized, is invited to address the participants. Mr. President.
Domnilor președinți Duda, Nausėda și Rinkevičius, domnilor prim-ministri Ciolacu și Plenković, domnule reprezentant special al președintelui Statelor Unite pentru Climă, John Kerry, doamnelor și domnilor miniștri, doamnelor și domnilor reprezentanți ai instituțiilor financiare internaționale, ai mediului de afaceri și ai societății civile, excelențe, distinși invitați. Organizarea acestei noi ediții a Forumului de Afaceri al Inițiativei celor 3 mări, a 5-a, după ediția inaugurală pe care am găzduit-o în 2018 la București, contribuie fără îndoială la realizarea obiectivului fundamental al inițiativei. Forumul va urmări astfel reducerea decalajelor între estul și vestul Europei și o mai mare coeziune, prosperitate și reziliență în Europa Centrală și de Est. Felicit Guvernul României pentru buna organizare a acestei ediții a forumului, căreia i-am acordat înaltul patronaj. După summitul pe care l-am găzduit ieri, este foarte clar că inițiativa și-a dovedit eficiența și importanța geoeconomică, precum și rolul de catalizator al creșterii economice în regiune. Ne aflăm acum la momentul maturizării, al fructificării oportunităților de investiții, inclusiv prin atragerea unor noi parteneri externi, a căror prezență astăzi la forum doresc să o salut. Am convingerea că actuala ediție a Forumului de Afaceri va completa deciziile substanțiale pe care le-am adoptat la summitul de ieri. Doamnelor și domnilor, una dintre lecțiile războiului de agresiune al Rusiei împotriva Ucrainei este că interdependența economică poate fi instrumentalizată periculos împotriva noastră. De aceea, dezvoltarea interconectărilor strategice este esențială pentru securitatea economică și consolidarea rezilienței spațiului inițiativei celor 3 mări. În circumstanțele actuale, consolidarea conectivității civile, dar și militare, între nordul și sudul regiunii, este un obiectiv politic regional major. O mobilitate sporită și o conectivitate mai bună consolidează postura aliată de descurajare și apărare pe flancul estic. În contextul războiului împotriva Ucrainei, datorită poziției strategice a portului Constanța și a porturilor pe Dunăre, România s-a transformat în cel mai mare hub european de cereale. Constanța este un reper și pentru un proiect emblematic de infrastructură a inițiativei, calea ferată numită Rail to Sea, care va lega Constanța de Gdansk. Via Carpatia este un alt proiect strategic regional de infrastructură care trebuie să continue a fi susținut. O nouă legătură de autostradă între nordul și sudul Europei, care leagă portul lituanian Klaipėda, de la Marea Baltică, de portul grecesc Salonic, integrând astfel sistemele de transport ale statelor inițiativei. Și sectorul energiei nucleare civile ar putea reprezenta o direcție de interes strategic pentru inițiativă, prin proiecte precum construirea reactoarelor 3 și 4 ale centralei de la Cernavodă și dezvoltarea primei centrale de reactoare modulare mici din Europa și a doua din lume, România poate deveni un furnizor important de securitate energetică în plan regional și pentru întreaga Uniune Europeană. La inițiativa României, în ultimul an, am acordat o atenție specială și securității cibernetice. Am convingerea că în actualul context geopolitic, creșterea gradului de securitate și reziliență cibernetică, precum și dezvoltarea și interconectarea infrastructurii și a rețelelor și serviciilor digitale au devenit urgențe care nu mai pot fi amânate și care trebuie abordate integrat la nivelul întregii regiuni. Distinși invitați, în doar 5 ani de la lansare, Forumul de afaceri a devenit un instrument esențial pentru atingerea obiectivelor noastre comune, prin stimularea proiectelor de investiție în infrastructură durabilă, încurajarea parteneriatelor public-privat și susținerea inițiativelor antreprenoriale pentru dezvoltarea regională robustă. Potențialul regiunii este enorm. Este nevoie de continuarea proiectelor majore de dezvoltare a infrastructurii, implicând și alte state membre ale Uniunii, dar și din Balcanii de Vest și din vecinătatea estică. Într-adevăr, consolidând reziliența strategică a țărilor din vecinătatea Uniunii Europene, putem contribui cu adevărat la propria noastră reziliență în ansamblu. Pentru atragerea și promovarea investițiilor, trebuie să ne asumăm responsabilitatea de a recalibra, consolida și diversifica instrumentele inițiativei. Inițiative susținute ieri la summit, precum constituirea unui fond de inovare și crearea unui succesor al actualului fond de investiții, pot oferi flexibilitate și perspectivă finanțării de proiecte inovatoare și un răspuns adecvat la apetitul investițional al regiunii. De aceea, atragerea investițiilor este o temă foarte importantă de discuție a forumului, fie că este vorba despre domeniul transport, despre cel al energiei sau domeniul digital. Vă încurajez așadar să valorificați întâlnirile din cadrul forumului de tip business to business și business to government, pentru ca oportunitățile de afaceri și de investiții să devină proiecte implementate rapid și eficient. Urez succes deplin dezbaterilor forumului și mi exprim speranța că dialogul multisectorial pe care îl veți avea va genera idei inovatoare și proiecte concrete de colaborare. Vă mulțumesc!
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to invite again Prime Minister, His Excellency Marcel Ciolacu, this time to present his speech for the audience here in the Unirii Hall and for those many, many thousands that are watching us live on TV or online. Mr. Prime Minister.
Domnule președinte Klaus Iohannis, domnule președinte Andrzej Duda, domnule prim-ministru Andrzej Plenković, domnule președinte Edgar Rinkēvić, domnule președinte Gitanas Nausėda, domnule John Kerry, înalt reprezentant pentru climă al președintelui Statelor Unite ale Americii. Excelențele voastre, distinși oaspeți, bine ați venit! Sunt deosebit de onorat să găzduiesc astăzi la București o nouă ediție a Forumului de Afaceri al inițiativei celor trei mări. Cele trei mări și cele 13 națiuni, cu un rol vital în stabilitatea și securitatea regională și globală. Un rol pe care nimeni nu cred că și-l putea imagina în urmă cu 8 ani de zile, atunci când în septembrie 2015, doamna președintă Chitaravici și domnul președinte Andrzej Duda propuneau adunării generale a ONU întărirea zonei Europei Centrale și de Est, prin înființarea unei platforme strategice a țărilor membre ale Uniunii Europene din Europa Centrală și de Est. Astăzi, inițiativa Trei Mări a devenit un scut pentru apărarea viitorilor cetățenilor noștri, pentru apărarea economiilor noastre și mai ales pentru apărarea securității noastre. Acum, este clar pentru toată lumea că invazia ilegală și total nedreaptă a Rusiei în Ucraina ne cheamă pe toți să fim mult mai uniți, mult mai dedicați apărării valorilor democratice și cu toții solidari, în construirea unei economii puternice în zonă, a unei economii care care să ne unească și să ne întărească și mai mult. Excelențele voastre, distinși oaspeți, am încercat aici, în România, să urmărim îndeplinirea acestor deziderate. Nu a fost un lucru ușor. Știm cu toții, v-ați confruntat și dumneavoastră cu toate problemele provocate de pandemie, de criza energetică și umanitară în urma războiului ilegal declanșat de Rusia. Am investit și vom continua să investim în drumurile, căile ferate și porturile noastre. Acest lucru ne va ajuta economiile și va garanta inclusiv faptul că cerealele ucrainene ajung pe piețele din întreaga lume. În fața eforturilor Rusiei de a ține Republica Moldova ostatică, am fost un canal vital pentru aprovizionarea cu energie. Am menținut deschise rețelele de transport și am oferit sprijin politic constant vecinilor noștri, tot români. Am fost în prima linie a apărării NATO și, bineînțeles, la fel ca dumneavoastră, am primit cu brațele deschise refugiații ucrainieni. Dragi prieteni, sunt multe lucruri de făcut împreună. Trebuie să acționăm rapid și hotărât pentru a investi în infrastructura noastră colectivă. Acest lucru ne va consolida regiunea și va contribui la diminuarea decalajelor și în contextul multiplelor provocări pe care le traversăm. Trebuie să interconectăm regiunea pe zona de infrastructură, economic, apărare comună și digital și să maximizăm astfel potențialul regional. Puterea economică este esențială pentru securitatea noastră și pentru construirea unei mari reziliențe regionale. În acest sens, vreau să evidențiez potențialul oferit de Dunăre și Marea Neagră. Pot fi pilonii centrali în dezvoltarea regiunii noastre. Vă invit să continuăm implementarea proiectelor în curs. Considerăm prioritare proiectele de infrastructură rutieră și feroviară, Via Carpatia și Rail to Sea, și să identificăm noi proiecte de anvergură menite să dezvolte regiunea. Stimați invitați, astăzi lupta se dă pentru a opri violența și opresiunea asupra vecinului nostru. Dar știm cu toții că în ceea ce privește viitorul, acesta trebuie să includă reconstrucția Ucrainei și extinderea Uniunii Europene, respectiv către Republica Moldova, Ucraina și Balcanii de Vest. Nu cred că este prea devreme să ne gândim la modul în care putem face acest lucru, începând cu rolul jucat de statele noastre în reconstrucția Ucrainei. Proiectul comun regional de viitor este să ne asigurăm că în această zonă a Europei suntem capabili să ne purtăm singuri de grijă, să ne dezvoltăm împreună în Uniunea Europeană, să ne consolidăm rolul în NATO, să trecem peste diferențe și să asigurăm pacea și stabilitatea regiunii. România este un factor de stabilitate regională și poate, împreună cu statele partenere din acest format, să contribuie nu doar la securitatea regiunii, ci și la dezvoltarea ei. Doamnelor și domnilor, sunt pe deplin convins că fundamentul politico-economic al inițiativei reprezintă cooperarea eficientă dintre sectorul guvernamental și cel privat. Doar așa vom putea fructifica potențialul enorm de creștere economică a regiunii celor trei mări. Și spun acest lucru pentru că acest potențial este într-adevăr imens. Cele 13 state participante la inițiativă reprezintă o piață de peste 120 de milioane de persoane. În ansamblu, regiunea are un potențial de investiții în infrastructură, energie și digitalizare de peste 1000 de miliarde de euro. Iar dovada clară a importanței pe care România o acordă inițiativei, atât politic cât și economic, este faptul că de la crearea acestei platforme de cooperare, România organizează pentru a doua oară summitul politic și forumul de afaceri al inițiativei celor trei mări. Susținerea companiilor private în proiectele de afaceri dezvoltate sub egida Forumului stă mărturie în implicarea noastră concretă. Suntem parte a unei regiuni deosebit de dinamice din punct de vedere economic și investițional, iar cifrele creșterii economice anuale confirmă acest lucru. Economia României este din ce în ce mai integrată în piața internă a Uniunii Europene. Mai mult, țara noastră a reușit să se profileze ca un actor regional responsabil, cu o situație politică și economică stabilă, în pofida recentelor evoluții geopolitice complexe. Toate marile agenții internaționale de rating au atribuit economiei românești ratinguri suverane cu nivelul recomandat pentru investiții. Excelențele voastre, distinși invitați, ne dorim ca Forumul de Afaceri, organizat astăzi, să contribuie la transpunerea în realitate a obiectivelor și proiectelor strategice ale inițiativei celor trei mări. Este cu siguranță nevoie de investiții în domeniile prioritare ale inițiativei, conectivitatea regională, în asigurarea transportului rapid de bunuri și servicii, energia regenerabilă în acord cu standardele de protecție a mediului, utilizarea tehnologiilor inteligente, creșterea securității cibernetice. Toate acestea sunt domenii în care expertiza partenerilor strategice a inițiativei, Statele Unite ale Americii, Comisia Europeană, Germania, este esențială. Profit de această ocazie pentru a saluta prezența numeroasă la Forumul de Afaceri a reprezentanților unor companii de renume la nivel global și a instituțiilor financiare de maximă relevanță. Prezența dumneavoastră aici la București este vitală pentru succesul nostru colectiv. Vă mulțumesc, sper că împreună să reușim să găsim cele mai inspirate soluții pentru a construi în cele 13 țări o zonă a stabilității, prosperității și solidarității. Vă mulțumesc!
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It is also my honor to invite to address us the president of a country that co-initiated 3SI. Please welcome the president of Poland, His Excellency Andrzej Duda.
Excellencies, Presidents, Prime Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank our Romanian hosts for inviting me to take part in the high-level opening session of the 3Cs Initiative Business Forum in Bucharest, hosted by the Prime Minister of Romania. I'm especially grateful to my dear friend, President Klaus Iohannis, for hosting the 3Cs Initiative Summit for the second time already, and for his significant contribution to the development of our joint project. I'm glad that today we can meet to discuss the economic potential of the 3Cs Initiative and the business opportunities that it offers. Our meeting is an excellent opportunity to highlight the growing role of the 3Cs region, not only at the European level, but also globally. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past 15 years, the 3Cs region has boosted the most dynamic economic development of all regions in Europe. We have rightfully been perceived by global businesses as an eastern engine of the European Union and a safe haven for investors in turbulent times. Despite many challenges of both political and economic nature, the 3Cs Initiative has proved its instrumental role in securing favorable conditions for businesses to prosper. It is a bitter satisfaction for me because it has come too late. But today, As we are able to see, our approach towards strengthening regional resilience is followed by other EU members. As President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen said, "We would have listened to the voices inside our Union, in Poland, in the Baltics, and all across Central and Eastern Europe." Despite the war in Ukraine, right across the border, we continue to offer investors fair rates of return on their assets, highly qualified labor force, and stability resulting from our membership in NATO and the European Union. Dear friends, since its creation in 2015, the initiative has paid special attention to regional security and diversification of supply sources. Thanks to the development of common projects such as cross-border gas interconnectors, the Baltic Pipe, and LNG terminals, we've been able to survive the energy crisis caused by Russia. Speaking about energy, I have to mention the green transition and the development of renewable energy sources. The construction of offshore wind farms at the Baltic Sea opens new possibilities of cooperation, notably between Poland and the Baltic states. Undoubtedly, there is a huge potential in our region to develop a strong hydrogen economy. That is the reason that this year, Polish company Orlen has submitted a brand new 3Cs priority project aimed at the production of green hydrogen at its refinery complex in Lithuania. We also look forward to developing small modular reactors across the region, which, together with nuclear plants, will significantly change the energy generation scheme in this part of the European Union. Thank you to the Special Envoy John Kerry for the US support and collaboration in this regard. We do appreciate it. At the same time, I believe our region can become a global center for digital technologies. Thanks to our high level of human capital and favorable business regulations, we have all the necessary assets to demonstrate our bigger role in this area, especially in 5G infrastructure and in cybersecurity fields. I note with satisfaction that Romania has made cybersecurity one of the major subjects of the to be discussed during this forum. I also welcome the inauguration of the European Cybersecurity Competence Center in Bucharest. Ladies and gentlemen, together with Greece, which officially joined the 3Cs initiative yesterday, we are more than 120 million ambitious entrepreneurial Europeans. Our economies stand for almost 14% of the European Union's total GDP. At the same time, over the last 5 years, our average GDP growth was 2.9%. While we estimate that the infrastructure investment needs in the region are more than 600 billion euro, in years 2018-2021, the total value of public investments in road, rail, and energy infrastructure in our countries exceeded 80 billion euro. Together with research and development spending, it's over 117 billion euro. Currently, there are 91 3Cs priority projects listed. These are big, cross-regional infrastructure projects in transport, energy, and digital domains with the value of more than 168 billion euro. I wish to stress that entrepreneurs can be part of this business opportunity. Investors, creditors, contractors, subcontractors, service providers, maintenance providers are all invited to contribute to the success of the 3 Cs. However, there is one more aspect of the 3 Cs format that needs particular attention. Our region is best positioned to support the reconstruction of Ukraine. It's due to the geographical proximity, effective and high-quality transport link, as well as common cultural heritage in many cases. 4 out of 13 3 Cs countries border Ukraine directly. We have the necessary experience and the know-how to assist our Ukrainian friends on their way to the European Union and in restoring their infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, at the end, I would like to draw our attention to our brand new project, the 3 Cs Business Development Association. This new Luxembourg-registered organization, initiated by Poland, Bulgaria, Estonia, Lithuania, and Romania, aims to advocate for the interest of entrepreneurs and employers from the 3 Cs region. I can also assure you that based on the success of 3 Cs Initiative Investment Fund, we shall spare no effort in working out new financial tools that could facilitate more cross-regional projects. I wish you constructive debates and many new 3 Cs business ideas. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. President. Croatia is another country that initiated 3SI. I welcome and invite His Excellency Andrej Plenković, Prime Minister of Croatia, to take the floor.
Thank you very much, dear President Iohannis, dear Prime Minister Ciolacu, Presidents, Special Envoy, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished representatives of the business area and activities. I'm really pleased that there are so many of you here at the second day of the 3 Cs Initiative Summit, so elegantly hosted by President Iohannis and Romania. The fact that there are so many of you clearly demonstrates the willingness of the business sector in all of our countries, but also from other countries and international institutions, especially economic and financial institutions, to increase the cooperation and trade between the countries involved in the 3 Cs initiative. Today, at this forum, I would like to say a few messages. First, Croatia has, together with Poland, been one of the initiators and the co-founders of this cooperation between the Baltic, Black Sea, and the Adriatic Sea. At the moment when this cooperation started, we could not anticipate what was happening over the last year and a half due to the brutal and illegal Russia's aggression against Ukraine. And therefore, it is important to contextualize our cooperation with the tectonic changes that have occurred at the European continent, tectonic changes for the basic values and principles that we all stand for the basic norms of international law and the cooperative system of global governance. The world has changed, let alone the big processes that the climate change is putting on all of us in terms of our responsibility and the actions that need to be taken. The Russia's aggression against Ukraine has impacted our cooperation. We have heard over the past 2 days how much the economic and transport and energy flows have been altered over the last 18 months. And the important point is it seems that they have not been altered temporarily, they seem to have been altered structurally. And that requires adaptation. Adaptation of states, adaptation of businesses, adaptation of companies, and all of our trade. Croatia, out of the total of our trade, has 1/3 of our trade with the member states of the 3Cs initiative. This, of course, in turn means the huge importance for our economic operators, and I welcome also especially the participants that came from my country to this business forum. The energy cooperation, transport cooperation, and digital cooperation have been outlined as the key areas where we should improve mutual connectivity, increase trade flows, and increase mutual benefits. The concept of 3Cs initiative is seen as a project or as an initiative that will help the businesses to increase their profits and to increase their trade. What we need to do as well is to strengthen the role of all of our countries within the European Union, and I think now that the Greece has joined yesterday, makes our case stronger, makes the group of these countries more influential in order to articulate the financing of the projects in this part of Europe. And I think this is happening, because this is happening also in the context of the times when we are using the available extra funds at the European Union level. The usual multi-annual financial frameworks are not enough. We provided a huge answer to the big problem that is the EU Next Generation to fight the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic. And now, together with the Repower Europe, we are actually increasing the investments in the energy and transport infrastructure across the continent. Parts of these projects are also being implemented within the 3Cs initiative. I think it is particularly important that here we witness the strong commitment and involvement of the United States of America, which makes this initiative even with a transatlantic dimension. I would like to reiterate Croatia's strong support for Ukraine. The expression of our solidarity has been demonstrated over the past year and a half, not only in terms of political declaration, humanitarian efforts, technical support, but it has been also articulated through concrete assistance in Ukraine's fight for freedom. And I think it is important that we keep the unity of the key European and international actors, that we keep supporting the economic and financial flow of Ukraine, and also endure the internal pressures that are coming within our societies due to the consequences on the economic and social situation. Only with a combination of those consistent policies, I think we shall be successful eventually. I thank the Romanian President and the Romanian government for assembling us all together here in Bucharest, and I wish you a fruitful economic forum today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. I think you all remember that last year's edition of the 3C Summit and Business Forum was hosted by Latvia. And of course, this year, the President of Latvia, His Excellency Edgars Rinkēvičs, honors us with his presence. Mr. President, please.
Fellow Presidents, Prime Ministers, dear friends, it's really great to be back to Bucharest because I also attended the first ever business forum of the 3Cs Initiative Summit 5 years ago here. And I'm very happy to see that actually the number of participants has grown considerably. I also want to thank President Klaus Iohannis, the Romanian government, for hosting us yesterday and today. Last year, we met in Riga, Latvia, where for the first time, all members of the 3Cs initiative unanimously supported Ukraine. During Riga Business Forum, we encouraged to link our vision of cooperation with action, as well as involve Ukraine into project of the initiative. This year, we have also endorsed the inclusion of Moldova in the initiative and infrastructure projects. We also welcomed Greece enlarging the number of participating countries, ensuring north-south infrastructure connectivity. Regrettably, the war has persisted, and this year we stand united in the same commitment to Ukraine. The geopolitical situation has further underscored the vital importance of sustainable connectivity, development, and resilience in our region. Our active collaboration within our region can directly assist in addressing global challenges. Latvian entrepreneurs are ready to be involved in the strengthening of EU solidarity lines with alternative routes like the Baltic route. Security and resilience in our region are and must remain priorities. I see the economic development of the region as an integral component of our defense strategy as well. First step is to find our region in its unique specialization with which we can have a share in global exports. The more integrated we become in global supply chains, the greater the interest is to ensure the region's security. Second step is search for overlaps. The investment we do should be approached with dual use in mind, serving both civilian and military needs. In this way, we ensure that the region's economy functions as both our fortress and pillar of prosperity. We should acknowledge results of this year. 5 projects have received investments and 2 are set to be approved soon. However, the needs are vast, and the presence of robust financial instruments play a vital and pivotal role. We highly value the support of our strategic partners. The announcement by the US DFC investment in Riga last year serves as encouragement. Economic growth cannot happen in isolation. It necessitates strong regional cooperation. Collectively, as a region, we represent a significant player with larger market and significant capacity for the European Union's cohesion. With the help of the initiative, Latvia is advancing on its projects. Rail Baltic infrastructure plays a special role in connectivity development, including also a component of a military mobility. The digital frontier is advancing within the rollout of an extensive cross-border optical fiber network and the establishment of a regional data center platform. This will ensure that Latvia and the region are primed for the future of digital connectivity. Russia's war against Ukraine has led many in the West to realize that our stance had been accurate all along. Historically, and even now, we have consistently borne the greatest costs. This moment serves as a catalyst for us to amplify our efforts, emphasizing our role in contributing to both political and economic policies globally and in the European Union. Only as a region, we can reaffirm this stance and create a lasting impact on the global stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. This discussion format has a challenging present and an ambitious future. Lithuania will host the Three Seas Initiative Summit and Business Forum in 2024, and I invite His Excellency Gitanas Nausėda, President of Lithuania, to take the floor.
Excellencies, Presidents, dear Prime Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. It's a great honor to greet you all here in Bucharest at the 7th Three Seas Initiative Business Forum. Our meeting today is largely shaped by Russia's war against Ukraine. It has significantly changed the European security situation as well as the parameters of our economic development. In recent years, the importance of Free Seas Initiative based on the North-South axis connectivity cooperation has increased dramatically. Geopolitical tensions demand efforts to speed up infrastructural projects, reorient transport routes, diversify energy sources, and build green and climate-neutral economies. We must also ensure that infrastructure is sufficiently protected against external threats, including cyber threats. Before our eyes, the Free Seas Initiative is growing bigger and stronger. As recently as last year, Ukraine became an associated participating state. Yesterday, the Free Seas Initiative was also joined by Greece and Moldova. Every country comes into our family with unique experience and unique capabilities. For us, Lithuanians, one of the most important lessons is the value of energy security. For some time after regaining political independence, Lithuania had suffered from Russia's energy blackmail. The situation changed when we succeeded in building our own LNG terminal. It helped Lithuania to become a regional hub, able not only to supply the Baltic region, but also to reach out to Ukraine if needed. Consequently, Lithuania was the first in the European Union to phase out the import of Russian gas, oil, and electricity starting from April 22. My country has also gained valuable international experience in LNG development by successfully participating in LNG projects in Croatia and now in Germany. We have contributed to the energy security and independence of our partner states. Lithuania is also constantly looking into opportunities to help Ukraine, whose critical infrastructure is being destroyed by Russia. To alleviate the stress felt by Ukraine's domestic energy system, we provided with our transformers and generators. With the second winter of war approaching, I would like to call on everyone to join forces and assist Ukraine. At the same time, Lithuania is aware of the immense energy potential of Ukraine. Given time, it would well become a regional energy hub and contribute to a sustainable green transformation of the whole region. By acting together, we may achieve green economy and sustainability faster. By 2030, Lithuania plans to become a self-sufficient green electricity producer. For this, we are implementing ambitious projects of wind and solar parks. Ladies and gentlemen, strengthening the eastern flank of NATO also means building a reliable and well-integrated regional transport system. We must all consider the significant role played by Ukraine's resilient railway system in the country's defense efforts. We have to accelerate major infrastructural projects and initiatives such as Rail Baltica, Via Baltica, and Via Carpathia. These transportation arteries would ensure that supplies and reinforcements from the allies reach NATO's eastern flank, the Free Seas region. Next year, under the auspices of the Summit of the Free Seas Initiative, Lithuania will also host a high-level gathering of OECD's International Transport Forum. It will focus on green transport, digitalization, urban mobility, and rebuilding Ukraine's infrastructure. In its presidency role of the International Transport Forum, Lithuania spares no efforts to help Ukraine. My country seeks to use the ITF's expertise to plan and coordinate the reconstruction of Ukraine's transportation system. To make the Free Seas Initiative work, we must also engage all the relevant European Union tools and instruments. The goal is crystal clear: to reach greater convergence, integration within the European Union, and connectivity. We would also benefit if financial institutions with strong investment potential from the US, Germany, Japan, South Korea, Canada, United Kingdom, or Australia could contribute more to the Free Seas region. Synergies should be sought between the Free Seas Initiative and such global connectivity initiatives as the EU's Global Gateway and the G7 Plan for Global Infrastructure Investment. We should also seek to create priority lanes to Ukraine's grain to the seaports in the Baltic states. Klaipėda's port alone could handle up to 10, 15, in the best case, tons of Ukrainian grain annually. In the long run, we should also aim to extend the European Gauge Railway to Ukraine and also within Ukraine. Building infrastructure always means new opportunities. Lithuania strongly believes in the innovation potential of the Free Seas Initiative. We encourage private initiatives as well as public-private partnerships. Therefore, I am glad to invite you all to the Vilnius Free Seas Summit next April. Let's turn our ideas into action and invest in our shared future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'll be there. And as you've already heard, an important topic of this Economic Business Forum debate is the future of energy, with an emphasis on clean energy, green energy. And this year's edition of 3SI enjoys the participation of a special guest, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency John Kerry, United States Special Presidential Envoy for Climate. You have the floor, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, Johannes, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for convening this extraordinary gathering today. And distinguished presidents, prime ministers, ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, late friends, I hope. Let me tell you, I was walking through an airport a few days ago, not so long ago, and some guy yells at me, hey, you, hey, anybody ever tell you you look like John Kerry? And I said, yeah, they tell me that all the time. And he says, kind of makes you mad, doesn't it? So the perils of public life today are many, as my colleagues will agree. But this is also perhaps one of the most important, exciting moments to be involved in decision-making and helping to set the stage for the greatest transformation in economies since the Industrial Revolution. That is by no means any exaggeration. We are on the cusp of something quite extraordinary, and I think that's what brings so many of you here. I'm impressed by the level of the turnout, the numbers of people, and I think everybody is trying to figure out, where's this market going? Where's the world going? It's a very complicated time, but some things are pretty clear. We are on a very dangerous path, which is the cause of human choices or the absence of human choices. Humanity is really lined up against humanity itself. And the test is whether or not we have the courage, the vision, the determination to grab on to this future. I meet people occasionally who say to me, is this really here to stay? What happens if you guys elect a different president, or what happens if there's a new government. I believe deeply. I've been at this for 30 plus years. I was in Rio, the first Earth Summit, and all of the COPs and many of the COPs in between. And in 90 days, we will gather in Dubai, where we have an opportunity to be able collectively to come together and prove whether or not we are prepared to do what needs to be done. But this moment, my friends, is really one not of that should elicit fear, not one which would make you hunker down and say, okay, the power source we've had for years has worked well, so let's just stick with it. I'm talking about coal. Coal's the dirtiest fuel in the world. And we don't even account for the real cost of burning coal, which is the climate crisis, the warming of the ocean. It's because of the particulates that fall with the rain, go into the ocean, change the acidity, changes life forever on this planet, which is what we're seeing today. And we have this moment of time, unique, where we're looking at this incredible dark, foreboding set of possibilities. Read the science, because that's what this is about. Mathematics, physics, which tells us what is happening. And here's what's scary about it. The major scientists of the world have been warning us of this for years, at least 35 years. And everything is happening now faster and bigger than they predicted. The warming, the melting, the fires, the mudslides, an ocean that was 102 degrees Fahrenheit off Florida a few days ago. Just this morning I woke up, television. Once again, hottest year in history, hottest summer in history. So when are we humans going to make the decision to do what we're able to do? And I'm here because of that, and I thank President Johannes for his invitation. The United States, President Biden, is deeply committed to this transition. We do not view this transition as something to fear. We view it as a moment to seize and a great opportunity. 2 years ago, the fastest growing job in the United States of America, and our economy is moving, was wind turbine technician. Third fastest growing job, solar panel installer. Now here's what's clear. We have to either capture emissions and do something with them that's smart, or we have to not make those emissions in the first place. And every part of this transition of creating for Europe your security, not having to fight a war in order to guarantee your energy source, so much of the future will be defined by our response to this moment of opportunity. And so the 3 C's initiative is poised to grab that. This is a moment. And the clean energy transition is the solution to the climate crisis. Energy is the solution. That's what it is. How we drive our cars, how we light our buildings, how we heat them. Tell you a quick story. There's a Greek immigrant who's a friend of mine in Massachusetts. And he came over and he walked in one day to a business and he said to the business, hey, I'll save you X amount on your costs of doing business. And I won't even ask you to finance it. I'll come in here and I'll fix your building so it's energy efficient. And all you have to do is sign a contract here that says, I get X percentage of all of your savings going forward for the following number of years. He's now a multimillionaire. He's helped redo buildings in Washington and elsewhere because buildings are an incredible source of emissions. That's an opportunity. That's imagination. That's what business is about. And we are on the brink here, I think. If you look at what's happening with electric vehicles, we're geared up to try to make sure that we have a complete revolution and transition in electric vehicles by 2035. Our goal is 100% of the vehicles sold will be electric. Now, do you think Ford Motor Company, General Motors, have retooled their factories to the tune of billions? So is Volkswagen and Mercedes and BMW and other makers in the world. And you see what China's doing. You think some politician is going to come in and turn that around? No way. Because they're making money, too much of it. And that's what's going to happen in every aspect of this revolution. And the spoils will go to the people who move fast enough. So everything that's been talked about by each of the presidents and prime ministers, better connectivity, attracting investment, catalyzing innovation, all of this can be the outcome of energy transition, which will provide prosperity for Central and Eastern Europe. And this transition, my friends, is coming, no matter what. Now, not one CEO of major companies, we've started something called the First Movers Coalition. We have over 85 of the biggest companies in the world, all members of Fortune 500, Forbes 2000, and every single one of them is engaged in this. Microsoft, Apple, Google, Salesforce, FedEx, you name the big companies. And they're all invested in this. And they're buying X amount of green products, even though they're paying a green premium, because they want to send the market demand signal in order to excite the transition. You think any one of them is going to go back? No. So, my friends, that's why we're leaning into new technologies. That's what the Inflation Reduction Act is all about. And we've seen an explosion in our country of new battery companies, new storage companies, new hydrogen electrolyzer manufacturers. I mean, all the things that are part of this revolution mean people work. And if you have to build a new grid, you're going to have heavy equipment operators, electricians, plumbers, designers, architects. Everybody's going to go to work to affect this transition. So we're leaning into it. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of visiting the University Politecnica, which now hosts a small modular nuclear reactor control room simulator. That simulator is a training tool which we are supporting, and it will help advance Romania's trailblazing leadership in secure, safe, and clean European SMR deployment, small modular reactors. Now, some people may say, nuclear, oh my gosh. Well, guess what? I was in the Navy. I worked with nuclear ships. We have about 160 nuclear ships. We have 200 micro-nuclear reactors. We have never lost one sailor. We've never had a spill. We've never had an accident. And now we have a new generation. Bill Gates is helping the government to build one in Wyoming. We're not saying you build it, we're building it. And we're doing it also in Idaho, which is using the exact same NuScale technology that you are using here in Romania. So this is the future. President Poland, President Duda, we're working with them on a Westinghouse transition. Clean energy, my friends, and a reduction in the threat of the climate crisis. The simulator is going to work, and the United States is really serious about this role. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of announcing 3 awardees for SMR feasibility studies under something called Project Phoenix. So for Czechia, for Poland, Slovakia, we launched this program at COP27. We're going to provide support for coal to SMR feasibility studies in order to help people embark on their own SMR transitions. And we are serious about the role that nuclear energy can play in this transition. In fact, ask any scientist, take any of the models, and there are many of them, on where we're heading, and they will all inform you, underscore, that we can't achieve net zero 2050 without some nuclear component in our mix. We also can't achieve the ultimate victory unless, which is once you get to net zero, we have to suck 1.6 trillion tons of carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, or the damage continues. This is a huge human challenge, but it's one we're up to. That's the greatest thing we've proven about humans. We have this power of ingenuity, entrepreneurship, capacity for change. I am more excited now about what I am seeing happening than I've been at any time in this journey. because money is moving. The UN report says we need about $4.5 trillion a year for the next 30 years to win the battle. What's winning the battle? Winning the battle is trying to keep the Earth's temperature rise to 1.5 degrees limit. That's our goal. But I see us now with a growth exponentially in people's engagement. And every one of you here today, frankly, is testimony to that reality. I want to announce one quick thing, and then I'll get off the stage. It's a new program which we want to help advance clean energy transition in Europe. It's a one-stop shopping initiative that will provide eligible Eurasian countries interested in deploying SMRs with a broad range of tools to be able to impact their choice. And among the many benefits, this program is going to support the establishment of SMR simulators, like the one here in Bucharest. And the program is going to help ensure that we uphold the highest safety standards, share global information, and win the battle. I am convinced that concerns that have existed about meltdown, safety, about proliferation, about waste, are addressed in the ingenuity of the new technologies which is represented here. So my friends, my job as climate envoy is to leverage American resources, technology, and political capital to work together with all of you to meet the goal that I defined. And in doing so, we have the ability to scale up, speed up this transition. We actually can win this battle. But this next year or two, and this meeting in Dubai, will be critical to our ability to be able to do that. You can make a great step forward here in the next hours and days. We look forward to working with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all the speakers for their consistent contributions and solid arguments for a successful business forum. We conclude here this plenary opening session, but we all have ahead of us a full working day on the 4 pillars of the forum, namely energy, transportation, digitalization, and investments. So thank you all for being in Bucharest, Romania today, and I wish you best of luck. I wanted to get off live TV. We have a coffee break now before we work, so enjoy it.